Hey, it's Ken from VisitorQ. Today I'm going to walk through VisitorQ and give you a demo. So once you log into your VisitorQ account and you start generating traffic in your VisitorQ account, you'll start seeing leads populate. So firstly, up at the top left, you're going to see the VisitorQ logo and the dashboard icon over on the right. Both of these will bring you back to the dashboard from wherever you are. This is the website you currently have connected. If you just have the one website, you'll of course just see the one. But if you have more than one, you'll see a drop down. And if you click on that drop down, you'll see the different websites you have connected. VisitorQ does allow for unlimited websites, so if you do have more than one website, feel free to connect it. And then over here on the right hand side, you'll see the settings icon, which I will go into much more detail in just a little bit. And then you have the help section, where you'll find FAQs, walkthroughs, use cases, case studies, ways to contact us, and just about anything else you can think of. And of course, lastly, you'll have a section to log out, change your password, etc. So over here on the left hand side is what we call queues. You can think of a queue as a type of reporting method. So if you want to keep up to date on a specific geographic area, a CPC campaign, create one for qualifying metrics, whatever the case is, you can do so. By default, you'll just see archive leads and all leads. All these are queues that myself or my team have created. If you wanted to create a queue, you just go down to customize queues, click on new lead queue, and then from here, set your criteria. So first, you name it, whatever's nice and easy for you to recognize on the left-hand side here. By default, it's assigned to the website you're currently viewing, or you can put it on other websites. Also by default, it's assigned to yourself, or you can add others to view this queue, or assign it to others. And then you choose your filter type. So whether that's approximate employees, company name, headquarter location, visiting metrics, visitor location, etc. And then you choose how you'd like it to interact with the value you set. And you can add multiple filtering methods as well, so you can get more granular. And as soon as you're done creating a queue, I'll click on one here so you can show a finished product. You can hit save. And then once it's done saving, click on the queue that you just created on the left hand side. And then you just view the companies that meet that criteria. So now going into the dashboard, you'll see a search bar that'll search by any keyword inquiry you can think of, within the date range specified, of course. And you can change that date range to whatever date range you'd like, as long as we have data there for you. And then at a quick glance, you'll see company name, visitor location, date and time of the last visit, how many pages they viewed, time spent, source and medium, and then a hide rule. So this hide rule here, let's say Oracle's not relevant to you, they're trying to sell you something, whatever the case is, you can click on this hide rule and it'll hide it from your dashboard moving forward. It also won't count against your lead total moving forward. So it's one way you can refine who you're seeing in your account, but also who you're paying to see. And then if you're scrolling through and saw someone that was interesting, you can click on them. And again, you'll see company name, visitor location, industry, whether or not this is assigned to another user, and whether or not you've assigned a tag to this company, and then any social media accounts that are relevant to this company, and then you'll see their visit details. So again, you'll see date and time, pages viewed, total time, source and medium, but you'll see the specific page they visited and how much time they spent on those pages, as well as historical visits. So you can click on the drop down and see the historical visits. This is one of our clients, so you can see they visit our dashboard frequently. But if there are specific pages that they visited that were different, they would of course populate. Company information, so you'll see a generalized company information section with name, website, headquarter, general phone numbers, etc. And then any contacts that are relevant to this company will populate here. All our contacts are GDPR and CCPA compliant. So when we get that IP address and reverse it to find that domain, we pump that domain name through our custom algorithm, as well as send it over to our partners at Full Contact and Hunter.io, and they'll populate us with any kind of public contact information for this company, and we'll populate it here. You can also leave notes for yourself or for others. You can also click on this drop down and export this lead to a CSV based on company or contact information, email it to someone, assign it to a user, move it to a queue, archive it, or hide it. And if you go to the dashboard and click on one, multiple, or all leads, you'll get the same drop down over here, so you can do it on a larger scale. Now we'll head over to the settings. I'll get back to this account section in just a little bit. Profile, this is of course where you can change name, email, passwords, etc. And then going into filters, firstly account filter. So an account filter is a way that you can filter not just your view but everyone's view of the account. So let's say you only do business with specific countries or your home country, or maybe you don't do business with specific countries. You can filter that criteria in or out, and that way you only see the leads that are relevant to you, and you're only paying to see the specific leads that are relevant to you as well, because anything that's filtered out based on account filter will not populate in your dashboard moving forward, but also won't count against your lead total moving forward. So to create an account filter, you would name it, apply it to whatever website, and then choose your filter types, whether that's page path, country, state, and province, and choose how you'd like it to interact with the value that you set. And then from that moment on, you will only see the leads that are relevant to you based on the criteria that you set. Next is a user filter. So user filters are really handy for companies that are adding larger sales teams, marketing teams, or just more users in general, because you can customize what they see in their dashboard. So for instance, let's say when your users is only in charge of a specific geographic area, you can customize their visitor queue dashboard so that way when they log in, they only see the leads that are relevant to them based on that criteria that you set, but it doesn't affect anyone else's view. So you would name it whatever you'd like, assign it to your website, and then of course you'd assign it to that individual, and you choose your filter type and then how you'd like it to interact with the value that you set. And then from that moment on, after you hit save, when that individual logs into his or her dashboard, they will only see the leads that are relevant to them. Next is users. So we do allow for unlimited users, so feel free to add anyone that you'd like. You just need their first and last name, email, website they have access to, and then set their permission level. I will say with a regular user, they're only able to see leads that are manually assigned to them. But if you didn't want to go through that more monotonous task of manually assigning leads to this individual, you can create what's called an auto assignment rule, where it is essentially another user filter, but it's very specific to a regular user, where you would input the criteria that would be relevant to them, and then it will automatically assign the leads to that individual based on this criteria. So again, you'd name it, apply it to your website, assign it to that individual, then choose your filter type and how you'd like it to interact with the value you set. And you can add multiple filtering types as well, so you can get more granular. And then from that moment on, this user will be getting leads assigned to them based on the criteria that you set. Next is notifications. So by default, everyone gets a daily email notification with no CSV on all new leads to the account, but you can change that frequency to as infrequent or frequent as you'd like, and choose to include a CSV file in this email as well. And then back on the dashboard where I showed you those custom queues, you can change your frequency for these as well. By default, they're set to never, but if you did create that hot leads queue and you want to get up to date on if someone meets that criteria, you can set that notification preference here. Next is the websites tab, where you can change your time zone, find the tracking scripts for sites that are already connected, or add another website. And all you have to do is name it, hit save, generates that tracking script for you, and then you copy and paste it onto your site, and we're tracking from that moment on. Next is hidden rules, where back on the dashboard where I showed you, you can hide specific companies by clicking on that hide rule. If you wanted to hide specific keywords, you'd go into here. You can hide specific keywords to whatever website you would like, or you can upload a CSV file and hide based on keywords that you've uploaded here. So whether you want to upload or just input your company name, clients' names, competitors' names, or just general keywords, like a lot of our clients will hide the keyword university or college because it's not necessarily relevant to them, but they'll see quite a bit of traffic coming to their site. And this way that anything that's filtered out based on this hidden rule will not populate in your dashboard moving forward, but also won't count against your lead total moving forward. And of course, any hidden rule that you put in place, whether it's manually on the dashboard or through keywords, will all populate there, so that way if they become relevant, you can unhide them. Next is receipts. Any receipts with visitor queue will of course populate here. And then lastly is our integrations. We integrate natively with Slack and Salesforce. We have our own custom API. And then we integrate with about 1,500 different applications via Zapier. So whether you integrate with Zoho, HubSpot, or anything like that, you can do it via Zapier. And lastly is the account section, where I can clarify a little bit more on the pricing structure. So we do price based on unique companies per month. So after using the 14-day free trial, you have a good understanding of how many companies within 14 days that we can identify for you. And then by doubling that number, you'll have a good understanding of how many companies within a month period that will typically look like. And you just choose a subscription plan that works best for you around that number. We do price monthly or annually. Annually, you do save 20%, and in Canadian, USD, or Euro. And then if you scroll to the bottom, it'll actually show you how many leads you've exhausted out of your total number of leads and when your lead limit resets. So you can always preemptively upgrade. Of course, if you upgrade after you've already chosen a subscription plan, it'll be at a prorated rate. And then if you were to hit your lead limit at any time, we don't automatically upgrade you to the next one or charge you overages. We just hold the account there. We notify you, and then that way you can choose whether to upgrade or not. And of course, that is at a prorated rate. If you had any other questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. Have a great day.